So it is Transformer Tuesday today, and we have a whole bunch of pre-orders that have gone up on Hasbro Pulse. Some better images of stuff we talked about yesterday, some confirmation on some Beast Wars reissues. So let's jump into that. And the first thing we're going to talk about is a piece of news that we talked about last year in August. The Chinese message board Weibo showed this still image of, it's potentially we're going to be getting a retro reissue of the basic class Iguanus from back in the 1995 Beast Wars days. And we didn't know if it was legitimate. We didn't know how the product was going to look because sometimes they just use images from they find online on the internet. And today, those orders went live on Hasbro Pulse, so it is 100% confirmed now that we are getting a Iguanus reissue. It's going to be $24.99, and according to the website, is going to be shipping out right away. So it looks like even Walmart might be having their stock of this very soon in retail. Now, the thing with Iguanus, and it's kind of the same issue that I had with some of the other ones, is that $24.99 price point. He's one of those basic scale figures, much like Rat Trap, that are just shouldn't be that price in a lot of ways. I understand that the plastic back then was more expensive and different, and they, to modernize it today, it's very tough. But it's also one of those things that you got to ask yourself why you would be purchasing this. If you're someone that's purchasing this to keep it mint on card and have it as a wall piece, then I could understand that. Because a original mint on card 1995 Rocky Bubble Iguanus definitely is more than $24.99. But that's kind of the only reason I can see it, because it does have that wall appeal, that shelf appeal. If you compare it to the original, there's very little differences between the two. Hasbro did a fantastic job matching between the two of them in terms of the packaging. I mean, the only difference really is the age rating in the top left and the Kenner logo in the bottom right being used on the front of these new reissues now, primarily because now Kenner is used as a marketing tool rather than it being a company, where the original, they didn't really promote that back then. It's just how it was. It's not going to match your original 96 Smooth Bubble version, but everyone wants the Rocky Bubble ones. Those were always the really nice Beast Wars packaging. So it's something where if you're buying it for that, to keep it carded and have it on your wall because it has that nice shelf appeal, I get that. But if you're buying it to engage with the figure for the first time, you never had the Iguanus figure, you want to engage with it for the first time, and judging by these images here, it looks like it's exactly the same as the original. Unless, obviously the lighting and photoshopping that's done with a lot of these like stock images, unless there's something I'm missing here, they look exactly like I own the original Iguanus. I was comparing it back and forth here. I don't see any differences. Maybe the hue of yellow is a little more in these photos, but again, that just might be the photography. So we'll see when we get it in hand, but it looks like it's a 1-for-1 reissue in every shape of the form, even like the slightest amount of paint detail. But again, I'll see when I have it in hand to compare. But it's something where if you do want to engage with it, and it is completely the same as the original, that $24.99 now even more so feels kind of in my opinion, because right now as we speak on eBay, if you went to eBay right now, and I'm not even talking all the other sources that you could get Transformer toys from the secondary market, I'm just saying the ease of eBay and FOMO and everything like that, you could go and make a FOMO purchase on eBay right now on a 100% complete original 1995 Iguanus for $22, $23. And those are the FOMO buy it now listings. If you're actually looking at if you have a little bit of patience and you're willing to wait, there was literally just a couple days ago a 100% complete Iguanus sold for $14.99 and another one sold for $15. So if you even wait a little bit and you don't have FOMO, there's going to be probably cheap ones that pop up, because the reality is with Iguanus was a figure, that was a product that was heavily produced. It had its original run in 1995, tons of them out there. Then again, it got a re-release in 1996 because Beast Wars was so popular, so they practically reissued the entire 1995 line once again for the 1996 product, just with those smooth bubbles. So then there was even more population of that figure put into the market. And then because he wasn't a show character, wasn't very popular, that kept his price down too and his demand. There's just tons of them out there, tons of them. So to ask the $24.99, unless it's someone that's buying it to keep it carded and just kind of chill it out on the wall, but if you're buying to mess with it, to play with it, or to have it in your collection, honestly, you could go out and buy the original at almost 50% the price. So that's just my take on that one. Again, it's just what I think. It's just I think there's with some of these Beast Wars figures, I could understand the K9, the Wolfang, some of those complete go for pretty decent money, and the reissues are a much more cheaper and affordable, venue. But in the case of like the Rat Trap before that, and even more so with this one, not so much the case. Go on eBay, find yourself a cheap one over the next couple of weeks. I'm pretty sure they're going to get flooded in the market, because now anyone that's been sitting on these and asking like crazy prices on eBay, that reissue is going to hurt it even more. So we'll see what happens. Next thing we're going to talk about is an update on our news from yesterday. So again, the pre-orders went up for the 2 core classes that we saw yesterday from Amazon Australia. This image comes courtesy of, again, Hasbro Pulse and the listings that they have there. I just want to give a shout out to the Transformer Slag podcast patron Mirage 101. It's his birthday today, and he's very super hyped about this item. I just want to give a little shout out to him. And so we get to kind of now see the alt mode for Freezer, the Terracon, that we did not get to see yesterday. And in the listing, they said that he was some kind of battle weapon that could be used by any Studio Series figure. And so it was like, oh, is he going to be like some kind of Battle Master or a Target Master kind of thing? Well, we have the alt mode image today, and I have no idea what I'm looking at here. It's some kind of gun turret mode, I guess. Maybe a badly transformed H-Tank. Maybe a 4-legged animal with a gun head. I don't know what I'm really looking at here. I'm going to assume that it's probably mistransformed, and it's going to have some kind of 3mm peg that could be held in the fist of figures. And again, because it's a core class, so it's going to be tiny. Don't let the image fool you on its size. So it's probably going to be some kind of gun weapon or whatever that a Terracon could use, and maybe we'll see these turret modes used in the movie and stuff, and that'll explain things. But yeah, it is what it is. These ones, both of them, the Arcee and the Freezer, have a ship out date. So we have an official ship out date of April 1st is when these are going to be shipping out. This goes contrary to what the Amazon Australia listings had at February. Like I said yesterday with that segment, way too early for it to be in February for a summer movie product cross-sell. No way that would have happened. So April 1st makes a lot more sense. It's probably going to even ship out and show up in stores maybe even mid-April or May, which makes a lot more sense for something that's going to be a summer movie kind of thing in its product. And it also confirms the core class retail price, which I said yesterday, based on 2022 MSRP, it is going to be $11.99. So get hyped for that. So we got these 2 items here, and we'll see what happens with that. We also have a quick Masterpiece teaser with the next piece of the Masterpiece ride-in, but usually when we get those teasers, that means tomorrow we'll probably get the better images and stuff. They're usually pre-ordered distributor stuff for the Japanese market, so stay tuned for that. We'll talk more about it tomorrow with the ride-in stuff. And some other stuff too, perhaps. But yeah, that's it more or less. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think with this weird alt mode. And are you interested in getting Iguanus? Again, if you are, I suggest probably checking out eBay over the next couple of weeks before you make your purchase. Again, your money is important to you, and there's only so much of it you could get. So always be smart with your wallet. Anyways, guys, this is the Transformer Slag podcast. We'll talk again tomorrow.